How many know the difference between the concept of opt-in and opt-out? So what is it?
It's when you can choose whether to be a part of...
Well, what's the difference between the two?
Well, opt-in is you choose to be allowed email marketing, and opt-out means you willfully select not to be a part of it.
Which one is more consumer-friendly for a company as a policy? Opt-in. Opt-in. Because you're giving me the choice. You're not sending me anything unless I agree to do it. Whereas with the opt-out, the only way that I get out of it is if I actively check a box or do some behavior that opts me out. Cookies. What's a cookie? Anybody have any cookies in here today? Chocolate chip, peanut butter? What's a cookie? Come on.
They know, Joel.
I know they know. I said it. I said before, it's like teaching a regular class. A cookie is what? It's something that's placed upon your computer that lets the person or the company or the product line or whatever it is know that you've been to their site and the next time there you can visit it more easily. That's a good cookie, the one that enables us to easily use it. So when we use Amazon, they're good cookies. It enables us to go to Amazon, just type in our name and password, and they've got everything else that's saved because it's in a cookie on our computer. Bad cookies, though, are when we have companies that sell the fact that we visited their site to other companies who then bombard us with pop-ups or emails, or they have a period of time that is unlimited in terms of how long they last. So you can check that out, but I'm not going to get into the technicalities of it. But if you saw a cookie that, if you were looking in the cookies and you saw a cookie that expired in 2049, you could conclude that that's not a good cookie. But they have a benefit. The benefit is that it means that we don't have to enter the information every single time we go to a site. It's there. But we just need to be careful. What's spam? That's what we serve to the military. It's food. What is spam? Everybody in here knows what spam is. Okay. So spam is junk mail that we get. So with regard to regular mail, we love getting regular bulk mail because we do it at our leisure and it makes us feel loved. Spam we hate because we get more spam than we do real email. So if I'm going to go back to my office during the hour that we're over here, half to 3/4 of it will be junk. So spam is junk. Okay? And it is far more that we get junk email than we get regular email. How about phishing? Seriously on this one, does anybody know what this is? Because this is another one you really need to be aware of what this is and be super careful. How about the group? Anybody heard of the group Fish? No. Okay. What's phishing? Yeah.
It's like a site that, I'm not sure, but like it copies another site and then you go to that site, it's legit.
But how does it get you to that site?
Sometimes the words are so similar that
Yeah, but how does it get you there? Usually gets you there through email. So it's representing that I'm the Bank of America, so it'll have the Bank of America logo, and it'll tell you that your account is in trouble and you need to click on this link and go to it in order to be able to fix your account. And then you think about it for a second and say, wait a minute, I don't have an account with Bank of America. But what happens is that people have fallen for this, and one of the companies that had a lot of trouble with it was eBay. There were a lot of companies that were phishing with the eBay logo, and they had people clicking on it. So you have to be really careful, even if it's somebody that you know or you think you know, as to whether you want to click on the link. So one of the things you ought to think about is when you get an email, is to click on properties and see, or just hit reply without sending a reply, to see if the address that comes up is the same one they're purporting to be. Got me? So if it says it's ebay.com, and you click reply, and what comes up is John Smith at something or other, you know that that one's junk. But you got to be careful. There are more and more of these that look like the real company. Okay? They're out there for us. Cyberbullying, this has been a lot in the paper a lot, right? So the more that we allow things like Facebook to just, we friend everybody, we leave ourselves more and more open to people bullying us. And this is a huge problem. I don't know how many of you may have seen the story in Newsday. There was a cover story about 3 weeks ago. It was like 3 or 4 pages on some of the things that are going on. But it's gotten really bad. And the social media only gives it more opportunities to get bad. How about sexting? We know that one? What's sexting? We're all prudes in here. So sexting is sending nude pictures or something similar to that to the person that we think is our boyfriend or our girlfriend, because it's just the two of us on our cell phones doing it. And as we said before, once something gets out there, what happens to it? The one person passes it on to another person, and before you know it, it's 10,000 people. So if you're sending pictures, even if you're fooling around, be careful. Show them to somebody on your digital camera. Don't post it somewhere. Properly crediting others. I'd like to show you this one. Because we do this all the time. We take information and we steal it from places. So there's this famous thing that's going on now. So there's this 19-year-old student that took, I don't know if you can see it there, that's the Apple symbol, and there's the silhouette of Steve Jobs. So there's this 19-year-old student that when Steve Jobs has stepped down as the chairman of Apple, who devised this as a way to be tribute. And then after Steve Jobs died recently, it got a lot more play. The only problem is that it turns out that somebody else did the same thing first. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. So the guy has now been ridiculed worldwide by the millions. And the part that in terms of the bad luck for this guy for not having checked enough is, wait till I read this one, right? Because then it makes this guy look so bad. So the person that he had copied is this person named Chris Thornley. Mr. Thornley, who was receiving treatment for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, released a statement saying he developed his design in May to celebrate the fact that someone who had cancer was still working, driving forward, and thinking positively about the future. So how does this make this other guy look who's now taking the thing which is the same one? So we've got to be really careful that we are not taking things and attributing them as our own that aren't.